Hello.
Perfect.
Welcome, everybody. We're just waiting for people to get in. We'll start in a few minutes.
There are 0 listeners.
I guess that's not true.
It says 1 speaker, 0 listeners, and 0 co-hosts for me.
No, there's 11 listeners right now. So I think I'm the only one who can see it with the almighty Carbify account.
Hello,
I think that's the thing. There's Amalia.
Okay, perfect. You can hear me well.
Yes, perfect. So we've got a few listeners coming in already. We're just waiting for it to be 8:30, so everybody can get the time to join in.
Yes, perfect.
So I'm gonna mute myself as the Carbify account. Amalia will take over as host. Enjoy, guys, and looking forward to the answers and questions you maybe have after the AMA.
Yes, we can hear you. Perfect. All right.
I think I'm here as well, right?
Yes, we can clearly hear you.
Oh, that's great. Because these AirPods are sometimes a pain in the ass.
Yeah, perfect. So I suggest we're still waiting for more people to join, and after that we can dive into the introduction. So let's wait a bit.
I thought William was going to sing our company song, right? If I'm not mistaken, William.
Let me get something to drink and I will start singing. I wish I could just play a song on Twitter because it's on mobile. I don't think we can.
No, fortunately not for the audience.
Amalia, can you also join on laptop and listen in? Because I see people in Discord asking if they can join on laptop.
As far as I'm aware, I only think this is a mobile thing, so I don't think Twitter Spaces is working on desktop, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's working. It's
Is
working
it?
on desktop, but you just can't join as a speaker on desktop.
Oh, okay. Well,
Done it before, so it should work on a Windows PC.
I see people already commenting that laptop indeed works.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome then. We're just going to wait like 1 more minute or 2, and after that we can officially start.
William, I'm still here.
I know, I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys, so I think we are ready to start. What do you say?
Yeah, sure. Go
Perfect.
ahead.
So, awesome. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to Carbify's AMA session. I'm here with Jaap, William, and Toby. So, guys, how are you?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Tired.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
we didn't sleep much, Amalia, because of the launch of EcoEmpires. But it went well, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. I'm also excited because at the end of this AMA, we'll be announcing the 3 winners of the Twitter thread competition too. So you guys have to stay until the end of the AMA to hear about it. So during this AMA, Jaap is going to answer questions related to tokenomics. Toby will focus more on the game-related questions, and William will be answering sustainability-related questions. So did I get that right? It's pretty clear.
Yeah, I think you did.
Awesome.
Yes.
Glad I did. Okay, so we are ready to dive into the questions. Actually, before that, I want to start by congratulating you all on achieving this massive milestone for EcoEmpires alpha testing of the game. It has been very hyped in the Discord channel too. And also, guys, by the way, if anyone here is not in the Carbify Discord channel, you can scroll the Carbify Twitter to find the link to the Carbify server. Otherwise, you're missing out. So congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Perfect. So we are going to dive in first with some game-related questions, Toby. And the first question we have is from Nix, who is asking, why does Carbify need a game, and what are the benefits of EcoEmpires for the ecosystem?
Yeah, we get that question quite a lot, I think. But I believe in general, it's not really related to the question, but I think in general, I believe gamification, which we do, always helps in regards to educating people, right? So, I always say CO2, the whole topic of CO2 and carbon emissions and all that, is not the most sexy topic out there. So I firmly believe that utilizing games to help reach audience who wouldn't have been attracted to this whole topic otherwise will really help. So that brings us to the question. Basically, I think it reels in a lot more people, who ultimately, help us planting trees in the Amazon and may buy wCBY or stake their tokens and dive into the games. So it extends your community basically. And therefore, basically helps the whole ecosystem, because more users and more utility for wCBY, more utility for ACO2, which will burn in the game, more exposure once again. So I really think the whole gamification part will be quite huge, and at least the most vibrant part of Carbify, in my opinion, but I'm biased, obviously. But I think the games have a lot of potential, and it will really expand our whole community and everything in it. So I think it adds a quite unique layer to a quite non-sexy topic, basically.
All right. Nix also asked, how important do you think EcoEmpires will be for the whole picture? But I assume you already referred to it somehow in your answer, unless you have anything else to add regarding this.
No, I think I somewhat did. Yeah, it's mainly in reaching target audiences we wouldn't have reached otherwise, in my opinion. So I really think EcoEmpires is able to achieve that, and which ultimately, once again, helps the whole ecosystem.
Perfect. Moving further, we have somewhat a complex question, if I say so, from Vinny. So Vinny says, for some of our newcomers who may not have seen it in the green paper, can you explain the correlation between EcoEmpires, ACO2, and wCBY? How will participating in the NFTree ownership affect gameplay and vice versa? So how will playing a game help the project reach its environmental goals? And how will it interact or maybe affect ACO2 and wCBY?
Yeah, it's a quite broad question. It's multiple questions in one, I guess. But if I split it up a little bit in regards to the first topic he mentioned, so how will the NFTree ownership affect gameplay? Well, basically, if you don't need any NFTs or anything like that, but it helps get more traction in the game. So you can plant trees in the game to offset your CO2 emissions for all your actions you do in game. And if you utilize your real NFTs on your land plots, you will actually be able to do that more quickly. So basically, your generation rates go up in regards to the CO2, and then you offset more, and then that eventually helps you speed up the game, basically. So I think that's the gameplay part in regards to the NFTs and the land plots, and then we also have the heroes, which add certain advantages in regards to unit speeds, unit defense stats, attack stats, and such things. So it just ups your game if you're a little bit more serious about it and wanna reach for the top. Then you could utilize the NFTs and become better basically. While always, and I keep on repeating myself here every AMA, but while always trying to keep the balance between creating a fun game for everyone and not killing it with too much pay to win elements. So that's something I'm really trying to keep the right balance in, and that will be a game of trial and error basically. And then I believe, it was in regards to how it will affect the ACO2 and CBY, right?
Yeah, so basically how will playing a game help the project reach its environmental goals, and how will it interact or maybe affect ACO2 and CBY?
Yeah, well, in regards to CBY, you can actually use CBY to buy NFTs. Referring back to the first part of my answer, so you can buy NFTs with it, but you can also interact in other ways we haven't shared yet with EcoEmpires. And the ultimate goal for Carbify basically is to plant as much trees as possible, absorb as much CO2 as possible, which we tokenize in the ACO2 token. So actually what we want to achieve, at least with the games, is to burn as much CO2 as we can. That's basically helping the most, because if we burn more CO2, the demand goes up, and then we ultimately plant more trees. That's quite it's a circle repeating itself basically. So the more players we get, the more players burning CO2, and hopefully, while they're not even aware of doing so, will ultimately help the whole project, because getting rid of CO2 is basically our core importance. So I really hope the game will help us with that.
Great, thank you for that. Basically, it's a good and elaborated answer, and hopefully clear for people to understand the importance and the role of EcoEmpires in the Carbify ecosystem. So moving to the next question, since we mentioned milestones and achievements at the beginning of the AMA, I have a few questions for Jaap, and the next question for Jaap is from Nix, who is asking, out of every again, yes. So yeah, out of everything you did last month, what did you consider the biggest achievement so far, and what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, first of all, I hope everyone heard the same as I did, because I heard Toby mentioning games a few times instead of just game, but that's off topic. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the moment Toby can answer questions in like 1 minute instead of 5. To answer the questions I got, yeah, we had some talks in. You guys have to know that we spoke a little bit before we started this AMA, and I'm always the guy talking like in half an hour to answer one question. So.
Yeah, let's just say, you spent 3 minutes now on not answering the question.
Yeah, that's my specialty. That's my specialty. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I think I have to answer Carbicon. I can actually mention 50 things. I'm very proud of a few things actually. Some are still in the pipeline, so I can't mention them yet. But Carbicon was a great event. I'm actually very proud of this, and I know William and Toby feel the same about this. We spoke lots of people. It was a great atmosphere. I think the scenery was brilliant inside an actual jungle in the Netherlands. I think there's only one in the Netherlands. So that being said, well, something we didn't mention before, and I don't know if this is a leak or anything, but I don't care. But I'm looking forward to talk at government level about our project. And that's actually something we are doing right now. So that's basically the leak. So that's thrilling. It's exciting, I guess. And it's something every crypto project wants. And we are doing it. So I think that answers your questions, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, and I might say that I'm actually a bit upset myself because I wasn't unable to join Carbicon, but maybe next time. All right. So moving on to the next question. Um, we have a question focused a bit more on the sustainable side, so I'm hoping William can answer it. This is a question from Grim Reaper, who's asking, how will Carbify ensure enough trees, and we're talking about millions here, will be planted in a sustainable and controlled manner? And secondly, do you have enough ACO2 available to fulfill the demand?
Thank you. Let's start with how do we ensure that we can plant enough trees? That's by partnering with the right people. And right now, our partner Agroforestry in Brazil can expand even more if needed. We already upped their planting efforts in the beginning of this year because we saw lots of interest from the community to buy trees. So they speed things up. And in the next 3 months, the planting season starts in the Amazon because it's our rain season, or dry season, sorry. And the beginning of the rain season starts, which means it's perfect to plant. So we will increase that even more if needed. And I think other one is will be answered in the. I can speak more about how we ensure that more trees can be planted, but this will be in one of the next questions. So I will stick to this one. How do we have enough CO2 to fulfill the demand? But that's a funny thing because it's like a chicken and the egg story. We cannot go to super big companies like Shell or the KLM airlines if we don't have enough CO2. So in the beginning, it will be sort of a balanced mix. I'd rather right now see 100 companies that buy 10 tons than one company that buys 1,000 tons. So we will increase our sales efforts when the pools start, when the carbon reduction certificates are finished. And then we'll scale as fast as needed to fill those pools. And ACO2 available, well, I hope we reach the moment that we can say, sorry, we have to say no. You have to pay more for the CO2 in order to fill your pool. And that would be, it would be amazing.
All right. So speaking of ACO2, William, the next question is from Anaxagoras. So guys, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm trying my best. So Anaxagoras is asking, what is the target amount of ACO2 to sell via pools in 2023 and 2024?
Yeah, I think the target will always be to sell all the CO2 the community trees are absorbing. So I think that is the answer.
Okay, perfect. Nix has another question and is asking if you are able to.
Is this his last one or not? Is this his last question? He has already asked 10 questions.
I'm afraid not. It's not the last one, no. Okay, so the question is, are you able to scale up fast when sales start going up and ACO2 buyers line up fast?
Yes, is the answer. Because, okay, I will elaborate in the later on in this AMA, but we can move to other regions and countries if needed. And we are already in talks with a lot of people. So it's not only the Amazon that we can plant, but there are more places in the world where we can make a social impact while planting agroforestry systems.
Great. Moving on to the next questions. We have a question from Echination, actually two. So the first question, William, is what is needed to plant your own NFTree and collect ACO2 via Carbify ecosystem?
What is needed? Well, nothing, because it's not possible. Right now, we don't offer the option to onboard your own trees because we don't think it's the right thing to do at this moment. And maybe in the future we will open that up, but there are so many. I mean, we need to audit everything. The UN certification that we have ensures that we do it via the correct way. And if you want to onboard your own garden, we need to create an audit report for that garden, and it takes days of work. So right now we don't offer the option to do it in your own garden, even though you are able to share geolocations and give us proof of life.
All right, so Ignatian was referring to the first question with what is needed to plant your own NFTrees and collect ACO2 via Carbify ecosystem, taking into account that you can share the geolocation and proof of life periodically.
Yeah. So it's not it's not possible.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. And Panabus is asking, can I sign up with my own garden?
No.
All right.
So, yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, Panabus, it's not possible. All right. So we're switching back to another game-related question, Toby. And this is another complex question now, I would say. So Vinny is saying, what if there was like a very small chance when gathering resources in the game that you discover an in-game item that can be redeemed for an NFTree and need to burn ACO2 to redeem it? Basically burn a little now in order to stake and earn additional ACO2 later long term.
Yeah, I really like the idea, and I know of other projects who actually do similar things, but I also get a little bit nervous when thinking about these in regards to, the whole compliance aspect. Because I did some research on these topics. It may be a little bit outdated now, but depending on the region and nature of the game, you have to consider the regulatory aspects basically related to NFTs and cryptocurrency, to ensure compliance with local laws, which is always very tough to do. But there are ways to do things like these. But as said, I'm a little bit hesitant, but I will definitely do my research to check if there are ways to achieve such things, because I like the idea behind it. So we will definitely look into it, but can't really give any promises in regards to such things at this moment.
All right, it's good that you can consider it at least. Okay, now we're going to dive into some questions regarding tokenomics, and these questions will be addressed to Jaap. It will be a series of 5 questions, Jaap, so we have to prepare for it. All right, so starting with the first question, Panabus is asking, how do you keep the price of the CO2 token reasonable in a bull and bear market?
Yeah, first of all, we are talking about a CO2 token and not a Carbify token. So it's really different. I think the CO2 token will be influenced by bull and bear, but not a lot, since we are talking about a business-to-business product that can be bought by companies to offset their CO2. They don't really care about the crypto prices at all. Maybe the world economy is a factor, of course, and it is related to crypto as well. But I don't think we can compare the CO2 token with a standard crypto token for that matter. So my answer would be it will hardly be affected by bull and bear in general.
All right. Okay. Moving to the next question, CodeCrypt is asking if there are any plans to get CBY listed at top exchanges.
Yes, but like we explained during the first 2 AMAs, we took a little bit of a different approach because, if you run a project like Carbify or any other crypto project for that matter, you will be receiving loads and loads of inquiries from exchanges. It's not hard to get a listing. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to wire some money and you're listed. That's basically it. But we want to work with exchanges that really offer us something. And well, to be honest, there are not a lot of exchanges capable of offering something. So we are listed on CoinStorm, for example. The reason is pretty obvious, because they are offsetting their whole exchange by buying our CO2 token. So this is a proper partnership for that matter. We are in talks with some exchanges, but we are still looking at a pretty severe bear market right now. So, well, it's not really positive to think about exchange listings right now. You can better do that when the sentiment is a little bit more positive. And we are only working with exchanges, well, offering something different, if you know what I mean. But the answer is, of course, yes, of course. Every token needs exchanges.
Perfect. Awesome. The next question we have still for you, Jaap, is again from Panabus, who's asking if the CO2 token is the real world use case. What's the use case for CBY?
Yeah, the CO2 token is pretty obvious indeed, but we actually had, well, you are the one, Amalia, who wrote the article about the CBY use cases actually, right? So
yes,
there are 10 of them, of about 10. I don't know if I know them by heart, but of course you can use the CBY token to buy NFTs on the marketplace. It will be revamped, by the way, the marketplace and Carbify. You can use it for the tree staking program. Well, that's one of the bigger use cases actually, because if you want to double your income, you need to stake CBY or own it or buy it in order to participate. We will burn CBY based on several events. It's also the token you need to buy premium gaming experience, like a premium account for EcoEmpires, and like Toby mentioned, the other games, possibly. And right now it's not yet possible, but we will offer the possibility to upgrade your NFTs to unlock more powers and buffs, etc., etc. So you will need CBY for this. You need CBY to upgrade your land plots. That's also not possible right now. You can also upgrade your heroes. We will introduce a NFT rental system. You also need CBY for this. And last but not least, as we are working with businesses, we can also certify a certain business based on our global current standard. And the fees they are paying will be for a minor part be converted into CBY. Those are market buys. So it's actually a long list, I guess.
It is, yeah. In other words, you can go to the Carbify blog and read the article too.
Yeah.
But your answer was also very, very descriptive. We have two more questions from Panabus. Another one still related to CBY, and Panabus is asking, how does CBY benefit from adoption or demand for CO2?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, Panabus, he already knows the answer, of course, because he's a smart guy. But this is basically based on the whole ecosystem we created, right? So everything will benefit from everything. So, for example, if someone enters our ecosystem and decides to buy trees or buy land plots or participate in EcoEmpires, they eventually need CBY. Because what I just explained, the use cases, if you really want to enjoy EcoEmpires in the best way possible, well, I guess most players will buy a premium account, and you need CBY for this. So CBY holders will benefit from this. Well, basically, this is related to the question I just answered, right? So everything you do in our ecosystem needs CBY. And, well, basically, any user flowing into our ecosystem and engage with Carbify in any way, well, the current users will benefit from this, basically.
Awesome. Great. The last question we have from Panabus is, how can the community help with further adoption?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we have seen this over the past week, right? So our brilliant marketing manager, and he's listening right now, came up with a special program together with you, Amalia, and the other ones active, and we can see what has happened on social media, right? Lots of attention, loads of tweets, and this is basically being done by the community. So it will drive further adoption for us because it will create awareness. But we will also launch a referral system. This will mean that if you are the one referring someone who is buying CO2 or buying any other product, Carbify related product, you will be awarded with a 5 up to 10% revenue. So I think that will help. You will help us grow and achieve the adoption we need, and you will get paid for it. So that's basically it for now.
Yeah, perfect. That really sounds amazing. And the role the community is playing is also basically invaluable too. All right, moving on to the next question. We have a question for William. Remus is asking if you are planning on pulling unstaked trees for that and selling the CO2 to consumers on a subscription basis. So for example, different packages depending on the household.
I don't know what the word debt is referring to, but selling CO2 on a subscription basis is something we will definitely do in the future. Right now, we are building the foundation for everything, for Carbify, and we will expand it more and more. And subscription models will be one of those new things.
Okay, we have another question for you, William, from Colsties, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. How many trees can still be planted in the Amazon?
How many trees, Amalia, do you think there are in the Amazon right now?
Around 140K, something like that.
No, but in total in the Amazon, how many do you think there are?
200.
In the total Amazon?
Oh, in the total Amazon. Oh, not
Yeah.
by. Oh, I don't know.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Okay, let me take a guess. I don't know. A billion? I don't know.
Right now there are 390 billion trees in the Amazon. Almost 400 billion trees. And the question is, how many can we be planted? Well, we know for a fact that the Amazon has been deforested for 30%. That means that there's room to plant 117 billion trees.
Wow.
So Call Stage, good luck purchasing batch 9 to 10 million. No, there's unlimited space in the Amazon.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, that's a huge number, still. Okay, moving on to the next question, which is still for you, William. Winner is asking if you can make the current Amazon planting model work in other areas, and if so, which ones have been identified?
Yes, this was what I was referring to earlier. Yes, it can work in other areas, and we are in far talks with the Maoris in New Zealand and Australia to plant there. We already did the ecological research, and the CO2 numbers are equal to the Amazon because they are at the same level if you look at the world. And we have, of course, a salesperson from New Zealand, so he's very keen on partnering with local Maori tribes to plant and make social impact.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Over there. So that's one of the areas, and the other area is Suriname. We are in talks with partly government funded project that wants to work together with us in it's also the Amazon, but it's in Suriname area, but that's also where we are looking at to expand our tree planting too.
Amazing. All right, we're switching back to Toby. We have another question from Panabus asking if you can also get in-game rewards if you lower your footprint. So, for instance, with a connection to Strava for commuting by bike instead of the car.
Yeah, let me keep this one short because they're eating up all the time with the other questions. But in theory, yes, of course. But we have no such plans right now. So if anything, it would surely be something for in the long run. But it's not on the table right now. No.
Okay, all right. And Panabus is also asking if somebody can play EcoEmpires without any need for crypto.
Yeah, definitely. We really aim to get the game very accessible for everyone. So we really want it to be a regular game in the core, basically. So everyone can play it, whether or not they have crypto wallets or NFTs or anything. So you can play it on mobile. All you need is an email address and an account to log in. And only when you want to utilize NFTs or when you want to claim rewards you've won in the game or anything like that, then you have to attach your crypto wallet. But by then, if you won, crypto, then you usually know what crypto is. But only then do you have to attach a wallet. But you can play as much as you like and wherever you like without having to own a wallet or be crypto savvy or anything like that. It's just a regular game as all other games, basically.
All right, that's really good. Being accessible for everyone, basically. The next question we have is from Remus, and this is quite of an extensive question. So I'm going to read it in full, and then we can see how we can split it. So Remus is asking, can the hero schedule be revised to make it more fair, not let the whales buy them all, and better pricing to give small participants a chance for legendary stuff? Remus said that he's a bit worried if this company steps out of the shadow of crypto in the non-crypto world, it could shed some negative light on the matter. Isn't earning the heroes or a loot chest bot with CBY with transparent chance rates a better idea? He then continued to say that this gives a huge surprise element and boosts hero trading.
Yeah, well, I to start off with the first part, whether or not we have to revise the whole hero schedule, I don't think I've shared a schedule at all yet, so I'm not sure how to revise it if it's not shared. I only shared the advantages of heroes and the additions they have, so the supply basically, as well as the pricing of the heroes. So there's nothing really to revise at this moment, I think. But we will surely pay a lot of attention to make the heroes accessible for everyone. So, of course, we will think of a solution to not let one or two people buy everything. But having said that, I don't think these type of NFTs will sell out in a few days or weeks. I don't think that will happen. So I wouldn't be too worried about such a thing. But what will surely give everyone an equal chance to obtain the hero he or she wants. So no worries about that. And in regards to pricing, I don't think the pricing is too bad, actually. The heroes, while hopefully not game-breaking in regards to the whole pay-to-win thing, do give you certain benefits. And I think in the long run, if you really want to spend time in EcoEmpires, I think you could quite easily make back the money you spend on NFTs. That's easy for me to say, of course, but I honestly believe that's the case because people should not forget we have a prize pool for EcoEmpires, which is very, very big. So I really think if they want to, if they like these kind of games and they want to spend a lot of time in it and utilize the NFTs, they will, in my opinion, in the long run, make back the money they spend on it. But that's no advice or anything, but that's just my personal opinion. And that, having said that, I think, the standard hero starts with a price tag of $25, which I don't think is bad at all. And then it goes up, of course, to a price of $1,500. But yeah, that's the Ferrari of the heroes, basically. So yeah, I don't think the pricing is that much off, but that's each to his own, of course. And we always try to find the right price for things. So we will definitely take a look at the pricing, but at this very moment, I don't think the pricing is too bad. But yeah, that's just me, of course. So we take this into account very seriously.
Perfect. And Remus said that he's adding to that question, will there be, any shiny, holographic, or special art heroes too?
Yeah, 100%. I have a background in gaming and also in card games and all that, so I really know what he means. I really always love the foil cards and special cards and limited editions, and we will surely have that as well with our NFTs. And one thing I didn't said with the previous question, but I think it's worth to mention, there will be many other ways to obtain our NFTs. We will not just be selling them. You can also win them in game, win them at giveaways. We gave away a free hero to every attendee at Carbicon. So there will be a lot of ways to obtain NFTs other than just having to pay for them. I just wanted to add that to the previous question.
Perfect. Good to mention it. All right. So since we mentioned the non-crypto term, we have a question for Jaap. And Remus is also asking if you can give us a timeline on when you'll be opening the Fiat gateway for non-crypto savvy people.
Yeah, I think we mentioned a solution during the AMA with AAG. But something interesting came up over the past weeks where we are still going forward with AAG, of course, but things change sometimes, and now we have a very interesting project based on a regulated crypto euro, a stable coin. So it's fully regulated. So accepted by governments and stuff like that. And we were approached by a company offering us a Fiat gateway with a custodial / non-custodial solution to offer to our B2B clients. This is getting complicated, I guess. But the short answer is yes, we will probably going to announce this during the Dutch blockchain days or week. I don't know how it's called. Maybe a bit later if we cannot make it. It's not a signed deal yet, but I'm confident we can sort a deal like that, and that would mean we can perfectly support and offer our products to regular companies who are not crypto savvy. Some don't even want to be involved with crypto or blockchain. Well, that doesn't matter because we have the website carbondebits.io. So everyone who did not see this website yet, you can go over there. There's not a mention of crypto over there. You won't find NFTs or anything like that. It's just a business, just like Carbify, but focused on the business to business. So we will offer a solution like that to this target audience.
Perfect. That's a very good answer. Moving on to the next question, we have two questions from Echination, from William. And the first question is, what does Carbify think of the voluntary and mandatory CO2 market?
I think that a lot of people don't know the difference between the voluntary and the mandatory market. We call it the compliance market and the voluntary market. And the compliance market is nothing else than the companies, they get an X amount of CO2 that they can have every year. So they can have a certain carbon footprint. For example, we as a company get 100 tons of CO2 each year. And if that's our carbon footprint, then it's all good. And if I get above that, I have to buy the right to have a carbon footprint. It has nothing to do with offsetting anything. It's just the right to have a certain amount of carbon footprint. And that is the compliance market. The voluntary market, that is where we are, in, is actually doing something to save this planet. We are compensating with absorbed CO2. That's a huge difference. The compliance market right now, because like Jaap already spoiled, we are in talks with governments. and the parties above governments. But right now, the compliance market is nothing more than a cash cow for the governments. And we want to change that. We want to be there when the governments change from being a cash cow to actually doing something to help save this planet. So we don't really like the compliance market, but we want to be involved in changing that compliance market to something good.
All right. Yeah, that's indeed a very good insight. Ekanation also asked Ekanation asked, when are the biggest hurdles for Carbify to either enter the mandatory market or when the voluntary market is mature enough to increase trading volume by 5 times?
Yeah. Well, the hurdle to join the mandatory market, so the compliance market, is that there's no carbon offset in that market right now. So it's just money making for governments. So that's a big hurdle. And when we start to interfere with that market, they need to realize, okay, but now something needs to change and we need to move away from just paying to have a certain carbon footprint to doing something. And governments are by definition a hurdle. So we need to be in long talks with them. And the other part was when the voluntary market is mature enough to increase trading volume. I think the biggest hurdle by then will be to ensure that we have enough CO2 to step into that market. I think those are the hurdles.
Okay, and speaking of markets, Panabus asked, on what kind of markets can the ACO2 token be traded? As the supply is limited, the supply can be drained if it's too transparent.
Yeah, that's a good question. Right now you have carbon offset exchanges. They facilitate the trading in carbon. And mostly it's now carbon credits, of course. But that is one of the markets that we are in active talks with. We have been talking with the largest carbon exchanges out there. I think 3 of them, and they have all shown interest in integrating with our CO2 tokens. And the hurdle we have to overcome there is that in the regular carbon markets, they talk per tons of CO2. And of course, you guys all know that our CO2 is per kilo. We fractionalize the ton back to the kilo. And so they need to make some back-end adjustments to facilitate kilo trading rather than trading of tons of CO2. But that will be we will focus on that in the first quarter of next year.
Perfect. Awesome. We're switching back to some game-related questions. We are just switching back to Toby to answer a few questions. And the question is from CodeCrypt. Is there any plans to become a stock-listed company in the future?
Yeah, I was getting excited when you said more game questions, but anyway.
Sorry.
No problem. We don't have any plans in regards to becoming a stock-listed company at this moment. No, I think it will be too early. And apart from that, it also has quite a lot of downsides as well to become a stock-listed company, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, so at this moment in time, we do not have any plans in regards to that. Maybe in a few years or something.
All right, Toby. And what about considering offers from big investors into the company when they would want to join now? Or in crypto terms, would you listen to VCs? This is Nick's question, by the way.
Okay, I always try to listen to anyone who thinks he has a good proposal or anything like that. And unfortunately, 99 out of 100 times, it's not that interesting. But in regards to VCs, I guess I can only speak for myself here, but I guess we will only consider it if they add something apart from just throwing in a bunch of money. So if they, open doors to certain companies or whatever, then we will surely get into talks with them and discuss it thoroughly. But just, as you see a lot in crypto, just throwing a lot of money on the table and buying yourself in is absolutely something we will never, ever do. So no, sure, we will listen, but it has to be, they have to be offering things we cannot realize by ourselves. That's basically it.
Okay, that's a good point. Perfect, thank you. The next question we have is from Martin, and it's for Jaap. So Jaap, is there any chance NFTrees, land plots, and CBY go omni-chain through Laser Zero, perhaps?
Yes. Well, we are in talks with a company called Moonbeam. Moonbeam is specialized in, omni-chain. I think he's referring to multi-chain. I think it's the same, but Moonbeam is specialized in a multi-chain solutions for NFTs or for any kind of assets. So you don't need to bridge stuff from one chain to another every single time. It will just locate all the assets on several chains and offer a solution for this in order to manage all the stuff. So that's something we are considering for our trees, because as you know, a tree is only $13. So some blockchains are just too expensive. If you buy a tree for $13, you don't want to pay another $13 in fees. That's unacceptable. So we might need to use Moonbeam for this. So the short answer is yes.
Okay, amazing. Next question is still from Martin, and he's asking if it will be any extra benefits to getting a certificate, something like a little discount or voucher for NFTrees. And I'm sure this question is for William. So William.
Yes, there will be definitely benefits. The biggest benefit is if you generate enough or a big enough certificate or compensate enough CO2, you can join the Carbon Council. We will have leaderboards. We will do competitions. You can indeed, we will do a discount. If you reach X amount of compensated CO2, you will get a free NFTree or do a discount. So yes, there will be extra benefits for creating carbon reduction certificates.
Perfect. We're switching back to Jaap again with another series of questions. Five questions this time. And the next question is still from Martin. So Martin is asking, when will NFTree owners receive the ACO2 from the Unstaked Trees?
I wish it was yesterday, but you have to make choices if you are working with a development company. So we have a list of priorities, and we actually know that everyone participating in the staking program will receive the Unstaked Tree bonus. So it's not really a big deal. So we will probably release this pretty soon, just in front of the actual claimable ACO2 feature. So yes, that's the answer.
Yep, pretty soon.
Amalia, can you kick Toby out of this chat? He has connection problems and he cannot join the space anymore.
I'm trying to. Just bear with me. Okay, let's see if we. Hello, Toby.
He talked enough, so. Bye, Toby.
Hello, Toby. Are you here now?
No, it still says connecting. You need to kick him out.
All right, I'll remove.
Yeah, so he can rejoin.
Okay. He has to request though, or.
I still see him in the speaker.
Oh, really? I kicked him once.
In the meantime, we can just continue with Jaap.
Yeah, just 1 second. So I am constantly trying to actually remove him, but for some reason, oh yeah, now I managed to do so. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, the next question we have for Jaap is from Nasdorf, and he's asking, how does the bridging work exactly, and against what fees?
Well, this is a pretty easy answer because right now it looks like we are integrating the CBY token into the native Polygon bridge offered by the Polygon Foundation. So the fees you are used to pay are similar to every other token. It's not that we are going to charge you anything. You have to pay on Polygon, you have to pay on Ethereum, but it's just the fee you are used to pay for every other token because it's the Polygon bridge.
All right. We have another question, but this time from Skyfield. Skyfield is asking, when will the ACO2 pools be launched?
Yeah, it's a similar answer regarding the Unstaked Tree. So we have a priority list, obviously, and the first priority right now is the Ethereum migration. So as soon as that has been released, the next priority is CO2 pools, because we are still waiting for some developers to finalize the actual ACO2 distribution. That's very comprehensive, because we found a way to monitor and trace back every kilogram of CO2 to a specific tree. Nobody can do that in this world yet, so that's massive. We want to build this, and it needs to be ready before we can start offering the CO2 pools.
Okay, we have another question from Nasdorf again, asking, what are the slippage and taxes for the CBY on Ethereum pool?
Taxes is simply 2%, 2%. So buy is 2%, sell is 2%. And I think the slippage, I think he's referring to the actual Uniswap fee, so the liquidity pool providers, that's 0.3%.
All right, awesome. And we have another question, this time from CPT Lightyear. CPT Lightyear asks, when CBY on Mainnet, more specifically Ethereum, I assume?
Yeah, we are almost finished with this. So we are doing the last sub-projects for the Polygon bridge right now, because we have to integrate it. The contract has already been finalized, so I don't think it will take that long anymore. And just to add something to the previous question, I know he didn't ask this, but the liquidity is also interesting to know, I think. So we are going to offer a liquidity pool on Ethereum, $200,000 and 200,000 worth of CBY. So that's a liquidity pool of 400K, basically.
Brilliant.
No, but that's also gone. We need to take over, Jaap. We do it with the two of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Continuing.
Okay, yeah, so I was just basically speaking to myself. All right, so we are switching the page now to some legal stuff, and this is a question for William from Jump. Jump is asking, does Carbify have a legal department related to real-world assets and international law?
Yes, we have a Brazilian lawyer, we have a Dutch lawyer, we have a tax lawyer, both in Brazil and in the Netherlands, and we have real estate lawyers in Brazil for our endeavor to acquire land over there, and we have legal opinions for Brazil, for MiCA, so for the European laws. And we have legal opinions about CBY, CO2, and the NFTs. So I think we are the only crypto project out there that has all the legal work done right from the start.
All right. Perfect. So the next question would be for Toby, but unfortunately Toby has some technical issues at the moment, so he's not able to
Yeah,
answer.
I will answer. I can answer it.
Okay, perfect. So Skyfield is asking, when will we see the first financial report and how often do we get an update?
Yeah, so we will start with those financial reports this quarter, so in Q4, and you will see it once every quarter, and it's about our crypto wallets. So Toby will make an overview about the crypto wallets that we own, incoming and outgoing. I think that answers the question, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. And yes, did you want to add something?
No, I think that's it. Toby can explain way better, but I do my best.
Perfect. We're very pleased with your answer anyway, too. And the next question is for you as well, William. Martin is asking if you are planning on getting your trees in the Amazon rainforest audited by a third party.
Yeah, that's a good question. The answer right now is no, because basically it's yes, yes and no. We let the farmers plant those trees. Then we have our local partner, so that's basically the third party, that checks if the trees are actually there and verifies the GPS locations. Because often, we have to deal with locals that sometimes haven't seen a phone in their life and they now need to geotag trees. So they make a lot of mistakes, which is all good, but we need some third party to check those geo coordinates, and we do that. So right now we use our planting partner, and in the future we'll also use satellite data to verify the increase in biomass.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, and I think it's good to mention that there's always someone at the actual location where the trees are planted, so he can check and verify. So it's not that someone is allowed to plant something and send us a geotag. That's not allowed.
All right, good point to make. Thank you. Okay, so guys, I just want to take a moment now to let you know we only have 2 remaining questions, and after that we will announce the thread competition winner. So don't leave anywhere yet. You might be among the winners if you join the competition. And I also want to quickly review the prizes as well. So the first winner will receive a Genesis land plot and also a surprise. Don't know yet because it's a surprise, obviously. The second winner will receive a rare land plot, and the third winner will receive a standard land plot. All right, so moving back to the questions. We have another question from Nix, and this question will be addressed to Jaap. So Nix is asking, how many people are working at Carbify on a daily basis, and how many are working for Carbify in total?
Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked when I checked this number. So I'd like to explain this in detail. Because of course there's a big difference between paying people that are working for a external company, right? I don't consider them exclusive people working for you because they are working for an external party. So that being said, we have 5 developers working for us right now, but they are working for an external company, like I just mentioned. They are dedicated to us full time. There's a project manager for all the technical projects. 3 people are working on marketing. 4 ecologists or data analysts. We have 2 people working at sales. Obviously William, Toby, and me. We have 15 people, also an external company this time, game developers and artists, project managers. We have 1 full-time dedicated graphic artist, an intern, 4 moderators, 4 famous guys, 3 advisors, and 2 guys working on web development. So that's a staggering total of over 40 people, but not everyone is working for us directly. So, well, about 50% of them is working for an external contractor.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good extensive list, and I love the fact that you know like each one of them. That's really good. We would still have some questions for Toby, but as we said, he won't be able to join anymore. But what I want to suggest is that if you still want to ask any questions, you can join the Carbify Discord server. I'm sure you can find it on Twitter. And Toby will definitely answer the questions related to the game in the dedicated AMA channel. So that's the thing that you want to do if you want to have your game-related question answered. So this would be the last question. This question is from Cercion and it's for William. So William, Cercion is asking how many trees are earmarked for the gifted tree, just so we can have an understanding of the scope of this project.
0.
All right. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay.
No, we don't have trees earmarked for the gifted tree project. We do it. We are still in the process of developing it. We're in touch with some nice companies, and then we will dedicate. I mean, let's say that the community won't feel anything from it. We don't. We make sure that the community can always buy trees and sell their CO2, and it will not. The gifted tree box will not interfere with that.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I must say that gifted tree indeed sounds like a very noble gift. So it's a very good thing to look forward to. All right. So basically, we are reaching the end of this MA session. But it cannot end without obviously announcing the Twitter thread competition winners. So this being said, now is the time to announce the 3 winners, which are... William, do you know how to make any drum bass sound?
In Discord we have a soundboard, but in here we don't have a soundboard. But I can try. Yeah. I don't know if you could hear it, but
I did indeed. Awesome, brilliant. So the 3 winners are: the first place goes to Mental Monkey.
Congrats,
Jake,
Mental Monkey.
Congratulations. The second place goes to Zord Crypt. And the third place is Pranay, if I pronounce that correctly. We also have honorable mentions for Jeru and Ush. Please reach out to us in the Discord channel to collect your prizes as well. And I want to congratulate everyone. And also thanks for tuning in tonight for our MA session. Yep, William and Toby, thank you for joining and for your answers. We would definitely meet here on Twitter Spaces for another MA session. So see you next time.
Toby, did Toby do anything? I didn't hear Toby.
Yes, he did have some comments into it, let's say.
Thanks, Maria, for hosting it. It was awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Yep. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.